I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. And welcome to Ryder's Blockbuster. The 1995 film Ice Cream Man has been called the best 80s movie that came out in the 90s. And I think that description actually does it pretty good justice. This movie has a few scoops of fun, some sprinkles of practical effects, and it's all topped with the chocolatey syrup of over-the-top B-horror movie goodness. Be warned, there are spoilers ahead, and if you enjoy great films like this, then don't forget to subscribe. We open in the black and white past where we see some gangsters drive up and shoot an ice cream man. A young boy named Gregory finds the dead man and picks up the ice cream that was in his hand.
Who's gonna bring me ice cream, Mommy?
In the present, a young boy named Roger gets excited when he hears the chimes of the ice cream truck. He runs out and orders an orange push-up.
I didn't say please.
As we see inside the strange man's truck, we can see that bugs have infested some of the ice cream. We then meet our main trio of the movie, Racer, Heather, and Tuna, who call themselves the Rocketeers. Also, Tuna's supposed to be fat. Like, he's clearly just got a pillow shoved in his shirt, but a lot of characters mention that he's overweight.
Lose some weight, fish boy.
And he has a hard time keeping up when they go biking around, so in the movie world, he really is a big guy. It's just a strange choice and a really bad costume. The Rocketeers rush to the park where we meet the fourth member of the Rocketeers, called Small Paul. Also, Tuna trips and drops his ice cream. Nerd! Small Paul is reading the Pied Piper, and the kids discuss the story before an ominous old man interrupts and tells them that in the real story, the Piper drowns all the kids like rats. But the Rocketeers aren't really fazed by this.
Nah, the kid's always gonna win.
Later, at that same park, we see the ice cream truck pull up and Roger from before rushes up to order something. The ice cream man has a strange flashback of a needle going into his head and he reaches for a knife. Next we see, the ice cream man pulls up to his shop. When he reaches for his things, we can hear someone banging inside of his freezer and screaming for help. A dog rushes up and begins to bark at him, irritating the man instantly.
Are we having a bad day?
The dog's owner hears her dog cry, and when she looks out, the ice cream man pops up, but he doesn't hurt her. Instead, he greets her and calls her Nurse Wharton. We learn that this ice cream man is Gregory, the kid from the intro, and she used to tend to him while he was in the psychiatric hospital. Gregory then goes back to his shop to work on some new flavors.
Not you.
Gregory has a dream of his time in the psych ward, and it seems terrifying.
Gregory.
The next day, he's doing his route when he's stopped by some policemen. The men ask if he's seen Roger, and Gregory says that he hasn't, before asking if they have any leads.
It's classified, Ice Cream Man. It's classified.
He says he'll keep an eye out for the missing kid before he gives the cops a few scoops of his special rocky road.
Here you go, detective. Just for you.
The Rocketeers stop by and order some more ice cream, but they take too long to order, and the ice cream man gets impatient. He drives off in a huff and has another memory of his childhood.
There are no bad days, Gregory. Only happy, happy, happy days.
When Heather goes home, her mother is talking in tongues. We learn that her dad is a priest and... oh boy.
The Archangel Gabriel speaking through your mother again. Heather?
This part has nothing to do with the overall movie. Her dad is a priest and he shows up a bit later, but her mother being possessed by Gabriel is nothing. It's strange and it's wacky. I loved it. I had to just mention it in this breakdown. Small Paul races Tuna to the ice cream truck for some late night snacks, but remember, Tuna's a big boy, so he has a hard time keeping up. Small Paul finds the ice cream man dancing behind a building. The ice cream man offers Small Paul a free cone of butter brickle. We can tell that the ice cream man is planning to snatch up Small Paul, but the boy is in awe about the ice cream truck. They briefly bond about how being stuck inside sucks, and they're both tired of being sick. When the ice cream man jumps out, a pointy and bloody stick falls as well, blowing his cover. Tuna finally arrives just as he sees Small Paul being hoisted into the ice cream truck. He hides behind a dumpster, but the ice cream man sees Tuna's shoes. Tuna runs away and hides in a bush where we see Roger was already hiding, so he's not dead, he's just been hiding for a few nights now. Tuna runs home and leaves his shoes on the front porch. Gregory drives around that night looking for the boy who saw him.
What the hell is that ice cream dork doing out this late?
He sees the red Converse on Tuna's porch, so now he knows where the boy who saw him lives. In the morning, Tuna's shoes are covered in ice cream and worms. He gets a different pair of shoes and goes to the store with his mother, but while there, he comes face to face with the ice cream killer himself. The man doesn't seem to recognize him because he's got a different pair of shoes on, but as Tuna continues to stare, he realizes that this is the boy that saw him the night before. He then chases Tuna throughout the store. Am I the only one who thinks it's weird for the grocery store to have carpet? Like, especially here next to all the food? I feel like carpet's a bad idea, or it's strange at least, right? Like, I'm not crazy. I feel like every grocery store I've gone into, it's always tile. They've always got tile. Carpet, man, that's so strange. Tuna hides in the freezer where the butcher finds him and eventually brings him back to his mother. He then tells his mother everything that he knows.
The ice cream man. I killed Small Paul last night. Oh my god. Oh, honey.
The cops go to Gregory's store looking for the missing kid. We learn that the shop used to belong to a man named Butch Brickle, and he was the man that we saw get shot in the intro. The cops are really rough while searching, and they end up trashing the entire shop.
Sir, hate to get my hand caught in that.
I use it to chop nuts.
The cops don't find anything, so they decide to leave. But the two lead detectives also decide to keep an eye out on Gregory, just in case. Gregory has another flashback of his time in the psychiatric hospital.
No bad days, Gregory. Only happy, happy, happy days.
He goes back into his shop and uncovers a secret room hidden inside of his walk-in freezer. He grabs Small Paul, but he tells the boy that he's not going to hurt him.
Are you having a bad day?
Yeah. You're right. Not every day is a happy, happy, happy day.
They eat some ice cream together and begin to develop a bit of a friendship. The Rocketeers meet together and talk about how they think Small Paul is dead. They see the ice cream man still driving around, so they decide that it's time to take things into their own hands.
Since when do kids go trailing murderers? We're just kids. We'll get killed.
They borrow a camera and go out that night looking for some evidence that they can use to convict the ice cream man. They follow him to a graveyard. Gregory kneels down at the grave of Butch Brickle and begins to talk to himself.
Looks like you got a lot of friends. They love ice cream. Hey, would you mind your business? I'm talking to somebody.
While he's out of the truck, Heather sneaks inside and takes photos of the bloody mess that she sees. She goes to get them printed the next morning, but everything costs money. So she leaves the film at the shop and goes to find some cash. The ice cream man then goes on a killing spree. He slices up 2 cops before finding Racer's father and killing him as well.
Yummy. You know, we should swap recipes. A creamsicle for custard pie.
He heads back to his shop and starts to teach Small Paul how to make ice cream.
Gotta just put a little bit in. It's the special amount you put in.
The detectives go to Gregory's old hospital. They meet the doctor, who is, well, he's a bit odd to say the least.
This is not a happy day.
The deeper into the hospital they go, the stranger things get. And when they get to the center, it's clear that the crazy has taken over the entire building.
Remember, only happy days.
A bad day, gentlemen. A very bad day.
The insane doctor calls for all of his patients to come out, and they drive the detectives away. The ice cream man tracks down the Rocketeers and snatches Tuna off of his bike and stuffs him into the freezer.
Your ice cream.
Racer and Heather then rush to Racer's older brother, Jacob. They show him the photos and convince him to help them go save Tuna. He drives them to the ice cream shop and goes inside, ordering the others to stay in the car. A bit later, Jacob hobbles out, but when he gets in the car, we see that it's actually the ice cream man.
That's what I call brain freeze.
Heather and Racer hide behind the shop. Gregory then calls out and puts on a puppet show with two of the heads of his victims, and the kids run away.
Kinda makes your head spin.
Yeah, looks like yours spun right off.
Shut up. You're not funny.
Tuna escapes from the freezer, but Gregory is there waiting. The detectives show up just then and see him scoop the kid into his truck. He climbs onto the roof and he knocks the detectives out. Tuna gets away and hides inside the shop. The ice cream man then finds Racer and Heather and begins to drag them into the shop, but he's stopped when he sees Butch Brickle back from the grave. It's actually Small Paul holding a photo of Brickle, but the ice cream man can't tell the difference. I thought I'd just make that clear. He has another memory where we see him getting injected with a huge syringe filled with green liquid before we see Brickle enter his hospital room, showing us that Brickle was also an insane person. Small Paul lures Gregory over to the mixer, and he falls in and gets chopped up into little pieces.
Who's the Pied Piper now, ice cream dick?
Sometime later, the Rocketeers meet again, only the smallest and the tallest member is missing. And Tuna's lost some weight. They invite Roger into their club as now they have an opening.
So, where's Small Paul? Or else? Therapy.
And that is where this movie ends. Ice Cream Man is such a perfect formula for like B-horror goodness. I remember when I was a kid, my parents were teaching me stranger danger, like the whole concept of stranger danger, and one of the examples they gave was that a stranger could use an ice cream truck to fool me into getting into his van. So I needed to be wary and not approach the dreaded Ice Cream Man. Now, like, as an adult though, I think that they just told me that so I stopped asking to get ice cream every time I heard the chimes come around the corner. But I guess other people were told the same thing, or at least something similar, because I think this movie takes that fear, that concept, that idea, and it just rolls with it, you know? I love the little twist with the mental hospital and how weird the movie gets once that concept starts to get flushed out a bit. And the interactions with the townspeople throughout the movie are bizarre and wild. Like, especially on my second watch, I really found them fascinating to hear what insanity these people were living. I really loved the interactions between Gregory and Small Paul. Like, the ending was so funny to me, seeing him catch the ice cream crazy. Like it's just some kind of curse or illness that spreads from person to person using ice cream as a vessel. Like, it's so wacky. It's great. I loved it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, then don't forget to subscribe. And if you've got a movie that you want me to watch, then let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, treat yourself to an extra scoop next time you go out. Bye-bye.
Baskin-Robbins, over 31 flavors of ice cream make for endless spoonfuls of fun. Now on the 31st, celebrate 31 with a regular scoop of your favorite ice cream for only $1.31. Baskin-Robbins. More flavors, more fun.